Howdy, gamers. Happy Sunday. I'm ViewtifulCrow. I got Vincent with me, and we are here to bring you day one of the Dreamhack Invitational Qualifier, brought to you by Samsung SSD, hosted by CVH and NECC. It's a great start to the Collegiate Valorant season. Day one was yesterday. I saw the chat. Lots of meows. Let's just keep the ball rolling, I suppose.
Yeah, and I mean, the good news is we're coming in at the round of 16, so we already have kind of made our way through. Listen, no disrespect, but some of the less interesting matchups, right? We get down into the nitty-gritty from the start today, and I think that's what's so exciting. Not to mention the fact that it's all best of threes throughout, which we have yet to get very many of those in Collegiate Valorant this season. Lots of BO1s have happened, and we know how we feel about BO1s. Those are trash. We don't like those.
Yeah. It's like if you blink, it's over sometimes, and there doesn't really give chances for teams to completely show their strengths, right? Like, you could go maybe like 5 bad rounds and then the game's realistically over, right? Unless you're just like the clutchest team ever. But yeah,
you also get to like ban 3 maps, so it's
exactly
like,
right.
You can just have a bad map pool and it'd be fine. That's kind of the other issue. So.
Just coasting through. It's whatever. But yeah,
we only play Heaven. We only play Haven. That's it.
Oh no, no maps, only Haven. That's all we want in life. Oh my goodness, definitely loving the fact that we're best of threes today. The 2 matches we will be having on stream are going to be Demigods versus Mizzou in the round of 16, like you said, and the quarterfinals, depending on the winners of SCC and SK, or versus the winner of UCF and NBG. So we got a nice little spread of skill, strategy, complete wild mayhem. It's gonna be a fun time, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the best probability to possibly get a Converse team in here as well.
Yeah.
So we gotta love that. By the way, I feel like that like matchup, both of those matchups are going to be interesting as well. So we'll try to update you as things go on. But like you mentioned, starting out with Demigods and Mizzou, and kind of funny story, right? In the power rankings, Demigods number 12, Mizzou number 13 after dropping a few places. Understandably so. They've had kind of a weird start to this season, haven't they?
Yeah, just a tiny little drop, 5, no big deal. It happens to the best of us. But I mean, they can bounce back, like we're just getting started, so it's not too crazy. But yeah, 12 and 13 in the CVH standings and rankings, but also in this tournament, I believe they're stacked right on top of each other, ranked and seeded.
They are indeed, and it makes perfect sense, right? I mean, Demigods, kind of the hope of the West Coast, I think it's fair to say. And then Mizzou, they've always been good. It's honestly, the issue has been for them that sometimes they just don't show up when it matters the most. They look good, and then I get very behind them, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna do it, and then I get disappointed. So we'll see if that continues to happen, or if Mizzou can pull this one off. With that being said, I've been told we got the veto ready to go, which is good news for us. So let's pop things over there and take a look at where we're headed.
Okay, yeah, map veto's all set in stone. Okay, looks like we're not going to Sunset to start. I honestly have yet to cast a Sunset map since the season started. Made me really sad.
I'm in the same boat, but as you can see, I'm already on Sunset, so I'm perma-happy.
All sunshines and rainbows and good rays going, but it does look like we will be going to Ascent for our first map, and then does look like we have Haven and Split for the decider if it should go all the way.
Yeah, I feel like Split Decider going to be interesting, but Ascent Haven, listen, that was the expectation, right? Yeah. I was looking back and, seeing round of 64, round of 32, where the picks were. Demigods, they've been picking out Haven throughout, and, Mizzou, they've also been picking Ascent and Haven in those first 2 best of 3s that they played. So the fact that we're going to see both of them, absolutely not a surprise whatsoever. And so as we jump towards Ascent, I gotta ask, what are the expectations here? Because honestly, for me, a little bit of a coin toss in general between these teams, but what does the map pool add to that for you?
Oh man, that's the whole thing, right? Like, both of them are very close. I'm expecting Mizzou to have a very good start on Ascent, right? Like, I'm very much expecting them to be able to play the map very well, but it's like at the side switch, if I feel like if they don't go up at least 4 rounds to start, I feel like they're going to have a little bit of a difficult time in the second half whenever the side switch happens, just because, I mean, they're a very good out the gate starter. Like, we know this, we've seen it before, but it's just like carrying the momentum is going to be really, really key at the momentum for map number 1. Going into map number 2, that's where, I'm going off complete feelings. I think both teams will be extremely well versed, matched up into each other, but like it's really a coin toss.
Yeah, and kind of back to the point I was making before, like Haven's been picked out by Demigods in the previous 2 series.
Yes.
But here they went to Ascent. I think there's a good chance that they knew Mizzou would be looking to play Haven anyway. And so it's been a good map for Mizzou, like throughout. Like think back to last semester and even further back into the fall. Like whenever Northwood were kind of on their like run of dominance, it was Mizzou that was kind of the only team taking some maps here and there, and it was Haven when they were taking them. So there's a lot of good performances in the past from Mizzou on that map specifically, and so I think the Demigods probably expecting a little bit to see it regardless, which is maybe why they floated towards Ascent. Either way, it's right smack dab in the middle of the map pool for both squads, and with Split being our decider, I'm kind of in the same boat. If we get to Split, the problem is I don't know who will win Haven or Ascent, and I feel like if I make a prediction, it's entirely like up to chance if that comes to fruition. So
right.
Like my gut, dude, I'm gonna do it again, aren't I? I'm gonna go with the Mizzou like copium, and I'm gonna hope and pray that I just don't get disappointed. So I'm saying Mizzou win this. I don't know how many maps, 2, 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think Mizzou probably gonna take it away, and that's no disrespect to Demigods. It's just that, well, listen, my heart's been broken so many times. It won't hurt that bad this time, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it can only break into so many pieces. I think Miley Cyrus did a song about it. I don't know, but it's just. See, this is difficult, right? I mean, Demigods have been, stepping up. I mean, it's just how much more can they jump? Like, how much of that strength training have they done to push all the way through? I don't expect a 2-0 from either team today. I genuinely feel like both of these two, because of how evenly matched they are, we will get to that split. But it's just like, which way is going to go at the end there? I'm kind of leaning a bit more towards Demigod just because of recency bias, and we don't know if this is the Mizzou from spring. We don't know if this is, like, are they returning to form? Like, they dropped quite a few places in these power rankings, so it's kind of like, are they done stumbling? Have they regained their form? Are they able to combat with those above them? Like, where I need to see where they're at if like I'm going to be convinced that they're going to be able to take this and move on.
Yeah, the problem is like, and I think part of the reason that they dropped in the power rankings is that they didn't qualify for Red Bull Campus Clutch, and that's a problem in a space where I feel like they are a strong contender there. Demigods did, but I mean at the possibility of angering our producer Adam, I mean, listen, they're West Coast, so that's. Is that really even a qualification? It's just kind of easy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's the strength of schedule. You know what I mean? I mean, they can't all be East Coast, Southeast. It's whatever.
Listen, as a Southeast football fan, like I know about strength of schedule. I'm very good at that.
we speak in the same language, my friend. I understand that. Yes.
So I'm just like, the question there is Mizzou going to be showing up in the same way that we've seen them in the past at times, but they haven't yet seen them in this semester. Granted, like we were talking about, they haven't had that many opportunities, and we talked about the BO1s and everything. All of those are reasonable, and that's kind of why I'm like, do I really take the results that we do have at face value, because there's so many qualifiers to that? Like, BO1, well, they were. It's the first couple of games of the season. Like, all of these things makes it difficult for me to make that call. So I'm hopeful for Mizzou, but I think the Demigods, they've been playing well this tournament. I mean, just to like point out how dominant they were, like their first series, they dropped 6 rounds total over 2 maps.
Yeah. Like I know, I think they went up against Ottawa. I want to believe. Yeah.
It was
And
Kaiser.
Kaiser,
for Demigods.
Kaiser. Okay, yeah, Kaiser for Demigod. That's it. Yeah. Mizzou took out Ottawa. But like
I think that was in NECC.
In NECC, yeah, NECC was looking at those earlier, and I mean, hey, like they're stepping up, like, but it's like I don't want to beat that dead horse, but you know, like what form are they on? Like, did they eat their Wheaties today? Did they get their stretches in? Like, are they ready to come at the Demigods at their full strength? Are they ready to, you know, bring that fight? So, like said, just waiting to get into game, waiting for players and everything, but the mental, I want to know where it's at. Like, I wish I was a fly on the wall in that room, just listening to how they're going to be talking. You know, like, I'm just so ready to get into this game because, like, the closeness of these two squads is going to make for a very interesting concoction, so to speak. And, like, we can talk about agents if you want to. Like,
I actually have a question for you.
Okay, go.
I need to ask.
Okay.
Okay, so this is very contentious.
Okay.
Breeze coming back in.
Yeah.
Yay, nay. Where are you at?
It's weird because, like, I think the changes made to it just made everybody be like, wait a minute, Breeze is kind of cracked. Like, it feels so weird to say that because I did not like Breeze to, like, start with when, like, the initial phase of it, but coming back into the pool with these changes on, I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe we're cooking with something here. It is banned for today's for this matchup particularly, so we're not going to see it, unfortunately. But I would like to see it in the next few matches.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm like I'm a huge Breeze enjoyer. I was devastated when it was gone. And especially as an Icebox hater, that hurt a lot. But with that being said, that does lead me to an actual for real this time point. And that is that I feel like that map is kind of going to change things up a little bit because there's like nothing else like it, and I feel like it's a map where like aim gods can kind of just take over and be a lot more effective than they would otherwise have been. So I'm curious to see if, like, I mean, I know you know, but there's so many of these teams that have like brought in, we'll just say like 5 aim players like from tier 2 or tier 3. So many of these teams have done that. I wonder if like Breeze coming back in is like a buff to those squads. I kind of feel like it will be, whereas teams like Mizzou, like Demigods, that really haven't made too many changes, or in Demigods' case, I don't think they made any changes. Like, I think that that's going to be that might make it so that like they have a little bit of an advantage too on everything else.
Absolutely. This is. I'm so curious about how Haven's gonna go. Like, genuinely so curious because Demigods have been so good on the map, and because Mizzou is pretty good on the map as well. Like, this is 100% the handshake match and a handshake map. For it to be the second pick though, like that makes Ascent even that more important though, right? Wouldn't you say? Because like we know both of them are so proficient on Haven with how they play. The momentum coming out of that map number 1 could potentially spell the series, as I believe we do have word we are getting into the game here.
Ooh. I like play and agent select. Yeah. We have potentially both of those coming up here.
Potentially.
Okay, I see. Adam's been sad this whole time because I don't know who's who on this Mizzou team either. We do some trolling apparently, or by we I mean Mizzou. Apparently
so.
Thank you, Panda. Panda is number 1 in my heart for not changing their name. Caster happy. Looks like we're going to get pretty much the standard Ascent comp, though. It doesn't look to me like there's anything to like point out or that is different here from what we tend to expect, generally speaking, and it is going to be a mirror matchup as well. So at least in the agent select side of things, no surprises. I guess here's where the surprises start or maybe end. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely going to have to see. So we are getting into game here. Number 1, first of the day on the broadcast. You know the names, you know the players, you love them, support them, however, at them on Twitter. Demigods versus Mizzou, heading to Ascent. So, in this the earlier few rounds, like, how are we 100% expecting either team to play?
I mean, for me, I'm ready to see them just kind of right out the gates, just head to head, headbutting each other, as you will. Like, this is this is a matchup that I think can be really interesting because of the fact that both teams kind of have a little bit to prove after the opening couple of games of this season. Like they're both. I think it's fair to say, like, Demigods made it through in the Red Bull qualifier, the second one, but like it's fair to say both teams kind of didn't meet expectations on the opening engagements that we saw from them, with the exception, Mizzou winning over Ottawa. I mean, that's a little bit better. But.
Right. Okay.
No more
We are looking like A-Site is the name of the game, and oh my goodness. Streamer on the Killjoy. Getting some good headshots. We'll spin around Melvin. Plays out super shy. Yeah, I mean, right at each other's throats like we expected. We knew it was on site immediately. Taking this pistol. Opting to play slow here for Mizzou. Oh, I love this. I love this. Perfect sight in the back of that dome. Put him down. Crinkles. Get that first round on the board for Mizzou.
I don't know who Crinkle's dad is, but that is a funny name. If it weren't for the fact that I was casting, I would be on board. I'd be so down. But either way, round number 1, working out, and yeah, just a nice little sneaky spot. Getting back into that position is always tough. Like, you clear it once, and then you're like, it's clear.
And, it's clear, yeah.
And then it wasn't. Demigods, they'll be down by 1 to start things out. But with that being said, the entry towards that site was solid. I think just got to check off a couple more boxes, and Melvin's got something out here, a little Marshall action, I think. And that can always be deadly. Love this mid-engagement, and Super Shy will go down. That's going to be a back and forth throughout this series, I think, is the operator. In this case, the Marshall, but the operator in general.
Give him a sniper. Let him go wild. As they will clear that frag. And that's immediately calling a full hard rotate. Demigods running across the backside through spawn. But we do have the TFT streamer holding down that long angle. Oh no, this could be so good or so bad depending on the team. It's great if you are a Mizzou stan, because TFT streamer goes for 3, looking for the 4th. Unfortunately not gonna get it, but hey, Crinkles will go ahead and clean that up for him like the great janitor that he is.
Eco frags. We love eco frags here. By the way, is this a brilliant strategy to, like, if you play bad, that they don't know? I mean, we do know.
I guess.
We can figure it out, but no one will know. No one will. Nobody
one
has
will
to
ever know.
Except, all the stream viewers.
Yeah.
Those guys will know.
Yeah, everybody in Twitch chat just totally dogging you right now, just like, oh, bro. If it were me, I would have totally screwed that corner.
Well, this is the bonus.
Yep.
Mizzou gonna keep what they had already. Super Shy's way forward inside of middle, and there's support here. I mean, look at the cat push. Multiple players poking their nose out and trying to get some information, but honestly, they found bullets, and so they'll have to follow.
How is Super Shy alive? Oh my god. 19 HP in a dream, I suppose. Yep, but it seems like a little bit of a stalemate. Not really hard committing to either side, but I do see this rotate start to come over. Looks like it's A-side. Heartbroken. Gets his ankles broken. Is immediately taken out. Koki will do the same for Panda. And now, yeah, A-side, free reign, I suppose. You have a literally bleeding out Jet. 2 others that are full. So it's going to be a successful plant. Absolutely. It's a matter of finishing out the round. Making sure you dot your I's, cross your T's.
Yeah, always important. Nice flash. Oh, a little bit of a whiff shot there, though. Gotta hit those. Good news is Melvin survives just fine, and Amir's gonna take one out there with the utility. Easy enough. Super Shy still alive, but, well, dashing right to Wick's waiting arms. Pretty clean and simple first gun round for Demigods.
Yep.
Answering the call, I would say, but now they have the real guns to deal with.
Yep. You see the rifles. Ooh, Super Shy going for the operator. So we have the Opping Jet coming out real early here. I have not been too loving of the past 2 rounds from this player, but hopefully this is the start where they can turn everything around. 4 light armors though, so Mizzou definitely have to play a little bit more careful here. Let's just hope they can click some heads. As Crinkle's dad immediately will get detected here. Hard shove towards B. They're saying let's go for it. Super Shy gonna go ahead and get a first frag of the round. Trade it on out though. now push is on. Oh god, Sprinkle lurking. Such a good anchor on site. This is so scary. Oh my god.
Trying to work around all of those players kind of coming at him left, right, and center, but unfortunately there was a lot of angles to deal with, and it was great patience from Demigods as well. Not getting too overzealous, just waiting for the rest of the team to get grouped up and walk onto the site together. Exactly what you want to see for now a tied scoreline as we get things going. Demigods answering that call, but from here at Mizzou, it's a little bit of a tougher situation. They're not going to be economically stable any further. I'll have to save into this round, though they do have a little bit of a hero rifle here or there.
Yep. Okay, opted to go for Guardian Marshall. So, look, I know it's hunting season, so...
And this Phantom.
Yeah.
Super shy. This is ambitious.
Right. Oh. Ambition does not always pay off, my dear friend. Sometimes ambition gets turned into, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Denial?
Yeah, as Melvin will clean up in mid. Now it's down to W Panda. Hard run to A. We know they are running, but it was good for Mizzou to, clean up at least 2 members. So it's not... I mean, we've seen crazier 1v3s, although he only has the ghost, so... the highlight play of the century?
They're making sure.
Yeah.
Gonna fake on that spike. But yeah, I like the anti-eco setup as well for Demigods. They were set up for the potential push there. If there had been a mid push as well, they would have been prepared for it. And so, if there was a push elsewhere, they could have transitioned to a B hit, for example, if there was a aggressive A push, something along those lines. Point being, Demigods making sure to be prepared for pretty much all outcomes in that engagement. Super Shy, first kill with the operator in this game, but just the one. Got traded immediately, was a very committed angle over at the B site, and now back on the op. No op to connect on the other side, though, and it's a perfect position.
Oh, wow. That perfect knife, though, coming out from the opposite team. Gonna go ahead and shy him away from holding that particular angle. See if he can get anything in the Frakar as he's just, all by himself. Okay. Put it up to 2, goes for 3. Oh my goodness. Okay. You might actually get some more in this round. Yeah. 3K on the board. I think the op was a good buy here.
Investment's paying off, and Koki left in the 1v5 attempt at the very least. Gonna give the position away, and wow, what a turn. Easy does it. Well, the TFT streamer, which I don't think I've ever played that game. Is that a fun game?
I mean, depends on your definition of fun. I can say I've played exactly 5 games of TFT, so like it has some fun.
That is not a ringing endorsement at all. I want you to know that was a. I guess if you like that kind of thing, whatever.
Like it's fun. It's fun for who's fun. Look, I am a card game fanatic, so my poison of choice for Riot Games is 100% Legends of Runeterra. I don't care how many of you say it's a dead game, because it's not. But hey, that's all right.
Look at this. Same situation for Demigods as they did in the last round. A little less aggressive, a little bit more of a pause being had before they walked forward. But the A side is their destination, and this time they make their way out onto the site with the help, at least, of these blades. Melvin gonna have to hold back the onslaught and adjusting for the second very nicely. It'll be the Hunter's Fury to try and find some space here. Salad looking to deny re-entry, but that's not gonna work out. Just 3 survive from Mizzou.
Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck. Hope he's stuck. No, okay. Managed to deport all the way out. Great swarm grenade over on the spike, but now how do you stop them from defusing here? You have to push forward in. Miz Panda staying alive long enough and gets the defuse. His team got his back, making sure it goes all the way through. Oh, that was a spicy round.
Yeah, and think about the investments, right? The Demigods were putting into that last round, Null Command and the Blade Storm to get onto the site, and it really wasn't much of anything it felt like required. Even after getting the 2 opening picks on the site itself, or rather towards the retake, Mizzou's still able to bring that back. It's just an unfortunate amount of investment the Demigods were putting forth without any payoff. And, I mean, you can still see the only ultimate left in the pocket there. Wick does have the lockdown, but we'll see if that matters in a round such as this one. Wick actually on the other side of this operator, super shy. Being very mobile with the op early, I've noticed.
Yeah, nice little Season 1 throwback with how they've been playing the Jet on the op. Hard commit, dash out. It's still showing that it still works in some scenarios. But now it's about how, like, he's had that op for, what, 4 rounds now?
This will be the 4th, yeah.
Yeah, this will be 4th, and yeah, he's still making that investment worth it. So, how much more can they get with it as Melvin will lose a 1v1. Amir returned onto Heartbroken for his Rebels pop flash. They're onto the site. Now the call has been made. Oh my god, he actually survived that panda. So we regroup, get that one, go for the second one. Bro, ran out of ammo? Or did he accidentally drop the weapon? What was that? Whatever happened there. Massive mistake.
Out of ammo, that's what happened.
Oh my goodness. That's got to be like one of the most feels bad man moments I've ever seen.
Yeah, I knew he was running out of bullets and just tried to commit to the fight because, well, I mean, maybe a wide swing will be a little bit of a more difficult target to hit, but ends up working out well enough. And that's going to proc a timeout for Demigods. They're interested in talking things over a little bit and just kind of looking back at these last couple of rounds. I don't know that there is anything like going really wrong for Demigods that they need to like fix per se. They tried a couple of plays that didn't work, and then they tried some that did work. Honestly, I haven't noticed anything that really has stuck out to me as a problem factor for them.
I really think it is just a matter of, it's like you said, yeah, it's like not like big glaring obvious things. It's down to the minute mechanical details for real in a lot of these situations. Like that, for instance, like 2 rounds ago when they were fighting on B, opting to go in that hard, even though there was the Killjoy ultimate down, the lockdown was there. Koki had to burn Omen ultimate just to get out. Wasn't even to rejoin the fight. And it's just, you know, small little things like that, these weird timings on decisions and not winning the 1v1s. A lot of it has come down to the 1v1s in these long corridors and these long angles that they're not winning. And, like, most of the times it's down to, like, what, 1 or 2 members on each team?
One thing I will say is that if they get an advantage like they did in that 1 round on A where they have, like, a 5-on-3, they just have to convert that. You can't be seeing 5-on-3s, like, whiffed in that manner. That is a losing strategy, unfortunately. Not that it's a strategy at all, but here's the Collegiate Classic little mid split towards B. That's exactly what you see pretty often here. But it's going to be up to 1 player. That's going to be Alex on the back of this site, trying to get aggressive, maybe a bit too aggressive, as Melvin will catch the timing and find the frag. Headshot in for a 2-on-4, but the HP for Demigods, 2 of those players relatively low.
Okay, yep, very low health bars for Demigods. Can Crinkle's dad do it? Nope, apparently cannot. But yeah, so that round was really good for them. I think one of the major keys was at the start, taking out Shy, getting that op off the table. Because in the previous rounds, that op has dwindled Demigods' numbers multiple times and, you know, forcing them into disadvantageous situations where they, you know, have to fight like 3v4 or 2v3 or 4 or what have you. So getting rid of Super Shy on the op at the beginning of that round definitely allowed them to play a bit more, you know, reckless or a bit more loose, I should say.
And it's not just about the man advantage situations, you know, finding that opening pick's great, but maintaining and gathering control of mid to B split effectively is another big portion of that. Of course, getting the B site should be a little easier this time with the lockdown into place. Nope. It's going to get destroyed, taken out there, and now they're stuck without any map control, speaking of, and Alex falls. No chance to refrag as he's blinded by the flash coming through. Crinkle's dad back at the site. This will be important for him to get at least 1 frag, but doesn't get any. Salad says goodbye, and it's down to 2 players for Mizzou trying to retake, but they should be saving as they back away. That is the call.
Yeah, big blunder there, unfortunately. For Mizzou, they will opt to save. Go ahead and keep those guns available. I mean, it just Demigods like that timeout, bro. Like they, got the typical coach scolding, and they're like, all right, we're back in it. Let's actually play for real. So yeah, it's 2 rounds on the board for Demigods. This with this one we'll actually tie it up, I believe. Yeah, 5-5. So
it's key as well that Demigods were able to adjust effectively when the plan didn't go as planned, right? Like whenever the plan fails, your decision making and ability to figure things out on the fly is huge. And Demigods, they're locked down. Well, it didn't do so much, and Super Shy's not even going to get the op save.
Wow, what?
Nice couple of kills there for Panda, but look, there's only 2 rounds left in the half. I don't know if that's going to end up mattering all that much. I don't know what the status of the Demigod economy is. We'll take a peek in a second, but point being that your ability to change up things on the fly, to deal with situations that either don't go as planned or the plan falls apart, it's exactly what separates the good teams from the great teams. And Demigods able to weather the storm of the lockdown destroyed. They were stuck without map control, and they just were able to walk in and find the frags.
Yeah, okay. Now it is all tied up, like you said. See how this push goes. Automatically looking towards mid. Going to split through after that potentially, but now Melvin going for the judge spray, not going to find anything. This is up close and personal Jet, 100%. Just got the judge, got the knives, ready to wreak havoc if possible. As the team looks to rotate towards A, it's only Panda immediately able to respond to this. Super Shy, aka Ponder, is in the area to respond should things happen. Holding that corner. Ooh, sneaky rabbits is looking to push on A, but I think this has been red because look at the call. You see everybody from Mizzou has been rotating over. Yeah, that's definitely the warning bells have been sounded. Salad though will take out Panda. Okay, let's see how the rest of the site plays out.
Panda desperately needed to get out of there, but could not do so. That's a nice find. That's going to be a bit of an equalizer here. The blades still could be activated for the defense as Mizzou makes their way back in, but look at how stacked up they are, all from the same angle. It's going to be tough, but if they can take these fights together, that's precisely what's necessary. Doubled up here in Hell, and it'll be the drop down. Shots not connecting, and Demigods falling apart. All falling as well as all 4 Mizzou retakers survive the onslaught to put them up to 6.
Yeah, and that was something that I touched on earlier, talking about winning, not necessarily the 1v1s, but just like shooting faster, making sure you get these frags quick as possible, because you cannot afford to miss any of these shots in these very, very tense situations like that was. Like, I want to say Demigods did a really good job getting on the site and making sure they got the plant very, relatively with ease, but everything after that post-plant scenario was just not there for them, and Mizzou just completely capitalized, collapsed, and just contorted them. It's sad to see, but hey, that's just something gotta shape up.
This is a pretty darn good recovery from Demigods to start with, but Mizzou have made some adjustments of their own, and this is going to be huge. Coming through from Alex, can get more than one. No! Denied after just the single frag. It's Super Shy coming back in. Blades already activated. Don't know if they've been utilized or how many, if so, but it's a 2v3 retake. And you got to go for it. Last round of the half.
You can almost call it a 2v2 because Killjoy's still sitting on 4 HP at the moment. Zalad, perfect corner. Panda has suspicions. Shy is now here. Blades have been unleashed. Wick is literally, you can breathe on him and he take him out. Oh, wow. Good trade, though. 1v1. Cannot clutch it up. Panda, once again. The flicks, the sprays, all in a day's work for the Mizzou man. Gets the defuse, saves that round.
Panda isolating duels, making the moves, and really playing incredibly well in the clutch there, just trying to stay moving, make yourself a difficult target, and as well, that cloudburst, I mean, yeah, the jet goes down, but the cloudburst was enough. It was actually the reason I think the Panda able to take that, because he couldn't be double swung because of it.
Right.
Actually, turns out beautiful there, a little bit of from the grave action from Ponder, and well, Mizzou take the lead into the half, but it's just by 2.
Just by 2, yeah. Like we estimated that this would be a very close series. If game number 1 is any indication, it's extremely close with how these teams do been playing. I want to just talk about Amir. I'm gonna go ahead and opt for the frenzy here. I still believe in frenzy supremacy.
I don't know about supremacy, but I am a frenzy believer. Definitely can find effectiveness there. It's going to be Ponder making the way through. Gets all of the utility up, so these smokes in place make things difficult. Melvin on an island, but fighting their way out pretty handedly at this point. Still not forced away, and they've got to deal with players retaking forward. Mizzou are in trouble, and they aren't having any solutions currently.
Look, the only solution is to fight your way out. This is literally just life or death scenario. Is going to swing in double. Oh, got caught reloading. Koki, unfortunately, taken out. Melvin now doing his best James Bond impression, trying to 1v3, and it's not going to happen. Yeah, Mizzou, they're just going to get everything they want.
I want to say Mizzou really played that well with regard to playing patiently. It's so easy, I think, for you to just get yourself in a position where you feel the need to push towards the site, and in that case, it was the wrong decision. They just waited, allowed for Demigods to take some aggression on their own, and, well, they didn't win any of the fights. So Demigods losing those fights essentially make it so that, well, Melvin and Amir, they had no help on the back of the site. They isolated those duels by just waiting a little bit. That's the power of the patience.
Yes, I really wanted to touch on that as well. Mizzou's patience have been rewarded more often than not this game number 1. And I think it's really, it's getting to the Demigods. They want to go in. They want to force these fights. They're losing the duels. They're not winning in the small skirmishes either. They're just literally getting choked out, suffocated even like a boa constrictor. And now, push on the A. They're taking it a little bit slower, but everyone from Mizzou is here. Demigods don't have the best setup in... Ponder, man. Come on. Absolutely insane. Trying to play rifle off here. Melvin will get his. Unfortunately, though, gets returned on.
Yeah, Wick just with the classic in hand. Not much else to be found this round for Mizzou. Just about keeping together, not losing too many bodies. And right now, I mean, they've lost a couple of players, so it's not been all bad for Demigods. But Wick knows there's not a lot of chances. Trying to maybe close the distance, get a right click going. But doubtful, all things considered. The Demigods, though, could have tied this game up almost immediately. And, man, like I said, close the distance. But, unfortunately, the loss in that pistol allows Mizzou to further their lead just a little bit further and get themselves up to 9. On the cusp of double digits, but there's some rebuys to be had, and Demigods themselves will have their purchase as well.
Yep, okay. Some more rifles, and Salad with the ever so beautiful Odin pick on this map. It's so good. I'm surprised we didn't see it earlier on the first half from Mizzou, but for Demigods to be picking it now, I mean, it really does spell to the game plan that they're expecting to happen. This is always a really good answer.
This early map control for Ponder and Co. Actually, I think Alex walking up mid there on catwalk, just in case, has some support of the KO, just in any troublesome situations, can flash them out from mid. And full control, now Amir in some trouble, taking space though, with the support as well from Wine. Look at that. It's going to have to be Koki to get a multi-frag, but no frags to be had, entirely denied. And it's Ponder making their way through, up towards heaven, and then even the player on site falls without much of a to-do. This is utterly devastating for Demigods. They haven't gotten anything done this round that they needed to.
Yeah, I mean, we said at the half, it's like, oh, it's only a 7-5. It's not that terrible, But now it's increased to a 9, about to be a 10-5, and hit double digits first with Mizzou. And it's just unfortunate errors by Demigods. None of them are able to hold their sights. None of them are holding their positions, rather, each and every time. They're just getting out gunfought, literally just out mechanically played every single step of the way, as a timeout will be called, I believe this time, by the Demigods. As they're going to talk over and mull over, hey, what is going on? What are y'all doing? Like, we were doing relatively well, keeping up pace, but now the baton has been passed, and Mizzou are very, very quickly just about to lap them.
To add some additional context to, the aim conversation here. I think the bigger point to talk about is the fact that in that last round specifically, Mizzou, by taking so much control, by taking cap, by taking mid, it forced Demigods, who were a little bit aggressive in A main. They had somebody at wine. It forced the additional player there, I think it was Amir over at A. It forced them to essentially take all of A main, to take that space, because they weren't going to be able, from the positions that they were in, to hold on to the A site. And in fact, it probably would have gone down. So it's not just that, straight up aim duels Mizzou is winning, because to be honest, Demigods has the aim prowess. The issue is that they're being put in difficult scenarios where they aren't going to be able to take those fights on their own terms. They have to take them on Mizzou's terms.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's definitely been the case in this attacking rounds. The positions that Mizzou is forcing Demigods to be in, like they're literally just not ready to try to answer this. And now the buys have come out. Interesting set. The state of economy for Demigods, not so great. Oh man, this is going to be a real challenge for them, because this could just make or break the rest of the game. I want to see how this goes. You see multiple sheriffs on the side as Koki was trying to get away. Crinkle's dad gonna put a bullet right in his back.
And that's the A site. It's done. It's gone. I mean, sure, maybe the chance to bring this back, but the HP low for Melvin already. And Salad, this is a fight must win, but no, doesn't go through. I'm not quite sure. Oh, through the edge of the wall. Melvin gets the planter. That's actually huge.
Oh, wow.
And Wick's got another frag too. 3v3. Okay. What went from nearly unlosable for Mizzou now is a very big chance for Demigods to take this and run with it. Mizzou, we're going to get out of dodge though with the ultimate in order to maybe set up a better crossfire. And Super Shy hasn't been checked. They don't know about Ponder. Gonna take that first frag as well, and the Wick grabs another kill. It's a 1v2, and Wick has no health to work with. Panda will shut it down. 11 rounds for Mizzou. Demigods with a chance there to bring it back, but denied.
Yeah, and that just plays back into, the low health bars of the members of Demigods when they were getting onto the site to try and retake it, to try and, get that defuse off. It just, the fumble was there by Mizzou, but Demigods were very much unable to, capture the ball and completely run with it. It was just the patience paying off once again for Mizzou. Okay, we misstepped a little bit. It's cool. Regain our footing. Everything will be fine. As Melvin jumping in, trades a 1-for-1, but Crinkle's dad, Hunter's Fury, comes out. It's a tag. It's all at the end of the day. Okay, 4v3. But that was the spike carrier. Yeah, Heartbroken grabbed it up and dropped it immediately.
Pretty swift response for Mizzou, but it doesn't end up giving them back any sort of advantage or even evening the field. For that matter, it's going to be a lot of pressure onto Alex. Information now gained. Alex taking out the bot in mid, and so Wick's going to communicate that over. But that's another place that they have to deal with. Look at this lineup of players inside of the boathouse. This is ridiculous. And with Crinkle's dad going down, Panda to follow, it's all up to Alex, who is trying to apply the pressure from mid that didn't work out.
Okay, and hey, look at that. Demigods finally back on the board. First round since the split, since the side change. And honestly, I think that one was just pure, just good aiming, it felt that Mizzou was getting a little overzealous, pushing up a little bit too aggressively. That trade 1-for-1 at the start of the round definitely helped out Demigods a lot more than Mizzou. But yeah, for once, Demigods playing patiently and out aiming and, coming out on top.
Yeah, Melvin got so much early information with the Blade Storm. Gets one and then goes down, and it's okay that Melvin goes down there because of the information that was gathered in the process. So, speaking of aggression, Demigods going to try their hand at it. They had a 0 point over towards Tile and nearly hit that flick, did Melvin. It was so very close, but going down through the spam, through that dark cover, Amir is now somewhat stuck, though now can escape should he require that. He's going to call for support, though, in order to get out, and there might be an engagement with the Sova. Crinkle's dad right around the corner.
Ooh, Amir. Better hold your breath. Not miss a thing, but Crinkle's dad's so quick with the flicks. Managing to get that will be traded. So now it's a 3v4 situation here. Looks like B site is going to be abandoned. Yeah, Mizzou opting to try and push through mid. Nobody's watching it, so it's free. They're free to run straight through. All 4 of them lined up like the Ghostbusters or something, just trailing straight through. Wick can meet them right here at the smoke. He hears the steps. He knows they're running right past him, but what does he do? He swings out, gets 1, 2, 3. Pop them all, drop them down, give them the 4K. Demigods showing they still got a lot of fight left in them.
And, you know, credit due there, sure, to Wick, but the paranoia came through. It blinds everybody.
So good.
It's the setup there, the communication. You could see the paranoia comes in on the left side, and Wick swinging, looking to the right, ensuring, okay, if there's anybody else still cat, gonna get them first because everybody else is paranoid, then turns around to get the multi-frag. Fantastic shots for Wick, but the setup there and the communication was perfect as well. Everything working well for Demigods, and it seems like finally they have come back alive into this map a little bit. But look at that, Super Shy has the Blade Storm ready to go and may be able to bail Mizzou out here.
Yeah, gets tickled with a few shots. That's the back off. Melvin hopping on that hard angle. You see an elbow, that's your life, babes. It's gone, it's done. Okay. Very good frag to get at the start of this round. How do they continue on, though? How does the momentum go? Heartbroken will take out Zalid. Super Shy trying to do their best jump around, but will get popped instead. And it should trade back and forth and drops it down to a 3v3. Mizzou, though, on the site uncontested.
Oh, look at this, though.
Oh,
Panda.
wow.
Panda could win this round. And then that null command as well. It's going to cut any sort of information gathering utility. That's a double spray down for Panda. Easily able to get 2. A little bit scary on the third, but that's 12 for Mizzou.
Oh, my God. Squeezed them, pincered them, trapped them in the corner, fish in a barreled them. That was disgusting. Panda has been on point this entire game, showing you why there as well. And it started off very well, Demigods, you know, getting that first frag, taking him out with the op. Melvin, you know, was creating good space, but once it dropped down to that 3v3 and literally everyone else on Demigods on the opposite side of the map having to rotate over, just allowed Mizzou to get in a perfect position to do what they do best. Okay, match point. Here we go.
Couple of them, 5 to be precise, before overtime is required. But Melvin, hit with a 0 point initially, won't be able to dash away, but has plenty of space to walk out anyway.
Here.
A little bit of a slower approach this round coming from Mizzou. They take map control towards mid, but elsewhere, they're just holding strong, waiting for anything to come their way, and nothing just yet is going to be the case. When will they look to regroup and gather up? It looks like that time is now. Both of the B players that were towards tiles and B main, they're going to be walking back over towards A.
Ooh, that's information gained by Koki. Just spots the enemy team coming right down on A site. Now the call is being made, I believe. Yeah, they're still holding on to B, but I do see one rotating through the back through spawn. Melvin has to look around. Oh my God, the battle of the two operas has just been such a stalemate so far in this very pivotal round, this must-win round from Demigods. But Mizzou, strike first, strike hard. High on the line. What is that movement? Melvin's still alive somehow, but no. Will be found through the smoke. 2v5. Can they get it done? I do not believe so. And Mizzou making it look oh so easy on the second half. Will take map number 1.
Indeed, they do. Ascent going their way. And, you know, at the end of the day, that first half looked very competitive, but when we got down to it, just dominance towards the end for Mizzou. And they made it so that realistically, whenever they were trying to take map control, Mizzou, they had that map control almost from the start. And if it didn't initially go Demigod's way, they weren't able to realistically retake those areas. And so consistently, we were seeing the Mizzou side of things take space, group back up, hit a site, win the duels going onto the site, and then win against the retake as well. It was all 3 phases of that attack side that they were finding success.
Absolutely, and it was a really difficult time for both, you know, Melvin and Wick on the side of Demigods to like really salvage things a lot of the time, because it was just so weird to see. Like you said, first half of this map was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But as soon as that side switch decided to pop in, it just spelled absolute mayhem for Demigods and Mizzou, really stepping it up. Absolutely insane performance by Panda, putting up big numbers. I believe, yeah, 236 average combat score. So just, was in second place. Melvin trying to do the heavy lifting, like I said, with 330. But hey, that was map number 1. Now we're about to go to the handshake. Now we're about to see how Haven plays. But before that, we got to take a quick break. But we will be right back with more VAL action. See you in a moment. Hey everybody, welcome back to this wonderful DreamHack Invitational qualifier. It's the first one. We're just bringing you, some more action. Brought to you by Samsung SSD. Shout out CVH and NECC. Of course, I'm ViewtifulCrow. I got Vincent. We just watched a pretty interesting map number 1 between our Mizzou and Demigods, and definitely didn't go the way I thought it would the entirety of the game, but I think we have an answer on that. Hey, is Mizzou awake or not yet?
Yeah, I mean, they were there, and they were there throughout map number 1. Granted, we knew that Mizzou were good at Ascent. We knew that Demigods were good at Ascent, and it just turns out that Mizzou a little bit better today. Now, I think we get down to what's going to be the map to talk about, right? Haven, I mentioned it the pre-show. Demigods, they picked Haven throughout this. It was a bit surprising to see them pick Ascent, but I think that's because they knew that Mizzou would be interested in picking Haven themselves, and that's exactly what happened. So, well, if Mizzou can win their own map pick, well, then, done and dusted, round of 16 over with. Mizzou just kind of moves along there, and they'll be into the quarterfinals. With that being said, Demigods now have to reverse sweep. It's a big thing to try and overcome. So as we look towards Haven, my expectations probably more of the same actually.
Okay.
But you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just really hoping that Demigods are awake on this defense, because they got absolutely shaken. It's just, they look like a completely different team night and day from attack to defense. As I do believe, so Mizzou starting off on defense this time on Haven, and so it's a little scary, right? Like you said, they do need to win 2 in a row immediately back to back to move on. And I mean, compositional wise, like, what are we going to be looking at as we are in agent select here? Mizzou already have others locked in.
Yeah, this is a pretty standard Mizzou comp. This is exactly what I would expect for them. On the Demigod side, haven't actually gotten to see Demigods on Haven all that much comparatively, but Wick's playing around with some ideas, and Amir's already locked in on a little bit of a different look. Typically, I feel like the norm is the breach, but there's no reason not to play with this guy, to be fair. And so that's what Amir's going to be doing. Otherwise, it is going to be the same, except for these controllers. Viper on the board, which again, a little bit off of what I would consider like meta at this point. But I've also been AFK for a minute, so maybe meta has changed.
I mean, yeah, it feels a little weird without the Sova being there, but I mean, opting to go for more of a site control, area control type composition, I think that can work for Demigods. It's just a matter of, like, are they gonna be able to shore up like those differences when it comes to terms of defense. Attack wise, I think they're solid. I think they are playing very, very well, but they just can't afford to get frazzled by Mizzou, because we know that Mizzou loves to play patiently, and this is a map you 100% can play very patiently on.
And it's kind of funny, right? There's a bit of a back and forth that you have to play as the defense, right? Because on this map, it is absolutely about the map control. You have to hold a lot of areas as the defense. And if you can't hang on to those, well, you're in trouble. That's why we see aggression right now off the rip for Mizzou, down towards the sewer area. But unfortunately for them, ain't nobody there. They've got the control, but nothing going to be that direction as the C hit comes through.
Absolutely, and through the smoke, through the fire. Oh my god, it's Panda. Oh, he's absolutely insane. Will take some down before he falls, but he did enough damage to just about secure this round. And yeah, Wick's going to go ahead and finish it off.
Yeah, Wick, 1v3 is the thing that he's going to have to do in order to take a victory here. Has the spike. That is actually crucial because he doesn't know it yet, but he could just run A if he wants, and that's what's going to happen.
Oh my god, there's no answer.
Run A, easy to get the spike down. But as soon as the spike goes down, I get the feeling that we're going to see Mizzou as a squad just run in together, walk in. Yeah, there we go. Rotation starting already prior to the plant. And, uh-oh, bad news for Pringles. Dad, never mind.
Oh, no.
Wick not anticipating somebody to be so close range.
Yeah. He thought he was all, in the clear. Got everything going. Does get that. I mean, he got the plant, so yay, a little extra few credits in his pocket, but it just wasn't meant to be the Cinderella dream. Dead right there in the round, but going into the next round, though, I did like how Demigods started the rounds off. It's just, pistols are always so hard to, I guess, quantify, because they can be, I don't want to say random, being the wrong word, but just...
Say it. Don't be scared.
it can be pretty random at times, not going to lie. But, once they actually get a little bit of money under their belt and get these buys going, I think Demigods are going to be off to a good start.
That's the hope, at least, right? And we saw the control that I was talking about in that pistol round come to fruition for Mizzou. They were able to take so much space towards A, and yeah, Panda getting 3 kills out, like playing around that smoke, that's not something that you can control for. That's just something that Panda does, and, if they don't, there's still a chance to win the round. Panda went and did do that, and they had all that map control, all that information. Continuing to try and work that information is Mizzou, as they've got a couple of players out towards A long, or actually A player, and we've already seen some pushes up towards sewer. That's the whole point of this wall that we see for the offense or Demigods. They're trying to deny said information towards the A long and A sewer position.
Okay. Wait, what? Oh my god, we blinked and missed it, and Shy over in B side is gonna hell and pop 2 and get, never mind, make it 3. They keep trying to pick up the spike and he just keeps dropping them. Oh no, absolutely falling apart for Demigods. Heartbroken will find Salad, and yeah, there's just no salvaging this round. Not gonna be a repeat. Run up, grab the spike, run to a different site. It's just absolutely Jover. Melvin, actually though, we'll be able to grab one at least for that.
Melvin has been such a it factor throughout, that first map.
Oh,
okay, hold on a second.
Wait, no.
Melvin.
Stop that.
Already.
That's
low
dirty.
HP, just one shot to anywhere on the body.
15 seconds
to the jet. And yeah, the time is a secondary factor that really couldn't be figured out there. Mizzou will close the round, but it got very spooky.
Like, literally, I'm like, oh yeah, it's done. Write him off, blah, blah, blah. It's whatever. It's over. And he just gets 3 just like that. But yeah, Melvin, top performing player, had the highest combat score in game number 1 of everyone in the server. Kind of the linchpin, the key for Demigods to get into this. And now he's probably going to try and spread that wealth amongst his teammates, saying, hey, buy this. It's on me today. But Demigods, they gotta tighten up to get something on the board. They're going to quickly fall behind.
Early engagements going the way of the Demigods. Koki's going to get 2 off the back of that. Good coordination of the utility. And Super Shy, the one to deny. Keep stepping away with the Guardian, and it will be death and despair for Demigods. They had an advantage. That advantage now gone, and information gained. Look at where Crinkle's dad is located right this moment. Has so much info, has heard what's coming, and could deny the plant as well. Wick start doing just that, but Salad turns at the right time, and maybe, just maybe, that's enough for the Demigods.
It's looking to be that. They're both sitting under in hell right now. This is very scary because Super Shy's been so good on that Guardian. Not good enough though to stop it. Finally, Demigods getting something on the board here. And that was so weird because at the beginning of that round, right, it looked like they had Mizzou had the optimal position, but literally couldn't land a kill. So all of them get away, and then they wrap it all around. Demigods salvaging what was seeming to be a very awkward last round, getting on the board.
it didn't look like Mizzou had the preferable position. They did have the preferable position. Unfortunately, and it's very much on Grinkle's dad, just kind of fell apart there. Needs to get a kill out of that. Patience was key, and unfortunately, Salad turned on him.
Yeah, Salad was so good. Like, come on, like, okay. B-side being the name of the game, which, wait, hold on. We need to check Melvin's computer because that didn't seem like a real situation that just happened there. Gonna get the hard plant on to B. Now they have to defend this very awkward site. Salad, unfortunately, not gonna win the 1v1 against Super Shy. Very key member taken out. Wick also dropping. 3v4, time ticking down. But I love this. I love this sitting in the cover of darkness. Amir on the back, forcing Mizzou to have to approach awkwardly. And here we go, Super Shy. Oh my god. Dwindling it down. Whoa!
Just holding on that defuse, though.
No way. No way. Melvin. Oh! The 4K, securing it, making sure Demigods keep that win.
And that's, I guess, one of those little wrinkles of that wall, that toxic screen. It can be really good because, like I was talking about, denies information over towards A. So you can cross over long towards short without any information going towards the defense. But also, you can have that if you don't have a committed B player, then Demigods can just dash up onto that site and walk through into A link without much of a problem. It's actually a huge advantage if you don't do it too often, and it's a surprise for Mizzou.
Absolutely. And okay, we have to go. I know I'm gonna beat a dead horse with this one, but Melvin is a really good player. Is Salad also, you know, not trying to be playing second fiddle. Starts it off with a very nice frag. Goes for 2. Whoa, baby. That's 3 quick kills going for Demigods. Make it 4. Look, the train has officially left the station, and it is picking up speed because Demigods are quickly catching up to how Mizzou have been playing. Looking to carry it on forward with another round win.
And I know, speaking of broken records, I'll continue to be a broken record a little bit regarding that toxic screen. Look at how much it makes it so difficult for Mizzou. If they want to play aggressive there, right, they just can't walk through that.
Can't.
If there is Demigods players on the other side of the toxic screen, even if they have weapons, it doesn't matter. Mizzou are in trouble because of how difficult it is to make that move. So they just have to wait, really, or they have to take a big risk. And granted, they were on a bit of an eco there, so they took a big risk. But still, the effectiveness is clear to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were some questions about, oh, the Viper pick on here. Are we sure that's a good idea? It's getting the job done. Viper combined with Omen is always annoying to play into because there's so much information you're not going to get and so many things you have to walk through. And now it's showing it's paying off very well. Melvin will actually fall. Panda on the site. 1-4, but that was the person holding the spike is Shy on exit. Okay, this is interesting. The hard commit opting to use the Viper ultimate to make sure Seaside is there. It's 2v3. Wick potentially.
This is not ideal because now they can use the lockdown. Wick can toss that if they want to. Salad will finally get the plant, but trying to deny that plant, you need to deny the planter.
Oh, yeah.
As I say that, though, heartbroken. This is
Heartbroken.
Fantastic position. Walking right through.
He knows.
Salad looking that way, and
nice.
Will take that kill away. It's all up to one man, and that is going to be this Sova. Doesn't have the recon bolt either, and getting flanked. It's Wick to take him out. Demigods coming away with a round they really had no business getting.
Yeah. Look. Okay, we have the cohesion. This is the mind meld, the brains, you know, the holding of the hands. One life, one team, one heartbeat type situation for Demigods. As literally every single round they have garnered was just off of them, you know, playing a little bit silly. Like, it doesn't feel like, it's not like hyper structured, you know, like this is one of those like game plans you dissect and say it's like, oh, it's optimal Valorant being played right here. They're playing a little silly on some of these things, and it's just Salad, a combination of Salad and Melvin doing such great work getting these frags. Wick being in the right place at the right time to back up the homies, and all that information denial coming out from this composition has been working very, very well.
You can see Mizzou kind of just wriggling around. They're trying to figure out, okay, how can we adjust off the back of what they're doing in order to play our game? Because Mizzou's game is about that info, right?
Yeah.
Without it, they aren't going to be as effective at rotating players around. You can see they're incorrectly rotating somebody over towards A just to have the C hit come forward, of course. We could see Alex multi-frag from this position, Bulldog in hand. We'll see if it goes through. Even with the fact that the Seekers come out, Alex gets a frag, and that's taking out potentially the Blades as well. Panda might be able to multi-frag from here. Does hit the back player, Amir falling. It's Wick who is in front that stays alive, but still locked down, engaged, and there's nothing to deny it this time around, or maybe not. That aftershock doesn't quite hit it, and I don't think Koki trying to move forward, but he will go down. Great frags there from Mizzou, and great responses to the ultimates put out by Demigods.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just want to talk about how pivotal Panda was in that situation. The fact that like he was able to teleport all the way back corner of C-Site, that corner that is so deadly in so many scenarios, had perfect view of them running up through C-Long to get to the site, and he got two very pivotal frags too, I believe, in that exchange, dropping two members, and that allowed Mizzou to clean up the rest, and here we are.
Kind of to add to that, right? It's that timing as well that they spent dealing with Panda that allows for the rest of Mizzou to get rotated in and then to counteract the lockdown, ensuring that nobody or ensuring that they could walk forward and take those fights aggressively as opposed to having to wait the lockdown out.
Yeah, but there's that lightning wall that we talked about. Very good positioning. Most of the time, though, angles are showing will be taken out. But man, how fast these frags have been returned by Demigods. Look, we talked about this Haven map being crazy, and it is delivering on every single second of action. As Panda once again on back of C. So carefully, with Melvin armed with the operator. One and done. So now Amir on a 1v4. Gets a plant,
spike planted,
or Heartbroken rather, in a 1v4. Has to watch listen as they get the plant on the C site. Yeah, he's probably gonna save.
Yeah, safe call for sure. No real reason to toss away this weapon, I don't think. Demigods, on the other hand, just to again talk about where they've been finding the success. Panda on the back of that C site has been there quite often, so very hyper aware are Demigods at that position and the possibilities that occur from that. But Mizzou, all they got to do is swap it up into the next round. I feel like Demigods have kind of started to find a bit of a groove. If Mizzou can disrupt that, well, then I think we're right back to Mizzou finding success. It's been good from Demigods, but they've had to fight for this.
There's also been a signal that if Mizzou guesses correctly on the quote-unquote plan Demigods are showing, they can meet them and match them there. But if they guess incorrectly, it just does not end up well for them. So like we talked about Demigods being able to, do a lot of information disruption and denial with the Sky, Omen, and Viper situation that they have going. If they get like any sort of inkling that, if Mizzou rather get any sort of inkling that they're correct on a play, they will 100% go and match it.
Aggression seems to be the name of the game. It's Kong forward through the mid door and the Blades out to play. But what? Amir that was through the edge of the smoke, I believe, and Wick is finding even further advantages as we saw Heartbroken trying to find some return on that frag by walking back through mid door. I guess Pan is going to try their hand at it. And might have a good timing, too.
That wall, I forgot that wall was there, I'm not going to lie. Okay. Well, no, this is interesting. Salad holding very hard. Hitting here. Will get spotted. Unfortunately, cannot deny the push any longer. Will drop, but hey, that's great information you can relay to the team. And you see them running now down. But we'll keep one on the side at least. Now, how to play from here. Here comes
Lockdown available. Problem is that there's already a lot of time ticked off that spike, and I'm not sure that they want to commit all the way back into this. Crinkle's getting a lot of information.
Oh no.
The Yellow Drone's going to find that info immediately. Crinkle's dad with a frag, but again, time, it's too far gone. Alex will entirely move away, says goodbye, and will save this rifle.
Yeah, just time not on their side. I feel like if that had been executed maybe even 5 seconds sooner, they could have made a push to try and get onto the site, but
remember, your
the
weapon
case.
is only a tool.
Here comes Demigods, keeping ahead, keeping that lead that they have. It's a 3-round differential, not absolutely, insane by any stretch of the imagination. And we've seen Mizzou completely turn things on a dime before. Full rifles, all light armor. Spending whatever they can to make it happen. What is the plan, though? That is the real question.
Stack towards C. That's the answer, Mizzou. A little bit of a different look than they have been in the past. Going to get those 3 players there early. And Salad continuing this info denial approach by removing the early recon bolt. And so now, despite that recon bolt, Demigods could be anywhere towards the A long or to A short areas, and it does not matter. Just patiently waiting. Demigods not interested in overextending this round. They're just gonna wait for the aggression. Mizzou gave it to him last round. Why not another one?
Yeah, and this is oh wait, is that? Oh
That's
my
rough.
God, Melvin! I was about to touch on Mizzou could completely, disrupt anything they want to. Demigod wanted to do because of that breach ultimate. Immediately taken off the table. A single pixel between life and death, and now the approach. Still opting to go towards the middle more so than A side. I thought they were going to try and turn to, but hey, they're going to take what they can get.
Trailblazer gets a lot of information. Guiding Light will be supporting Melvin in the attempt to get this frag towards A-Link, but
no way!
Alex has that frag and won't be able to survive. It's going to be up to Conk, trying to be aggressive, but Amir has rotated back in, and Wick, it's a nice shot on a Panda to close this round. Demigods, they have an answer for Mizzou right now, and it is working brilliantly.
Oh yeah, this big old game of Ring Around the Rosie is absolutely paying off in spades for Demigods. The economy for Mizzou is not great. Like I touched on, they did full rifles and all light armors last round. This round, I mean, they have the Guardian, they have the Bulldogs, which are good guns in the right hands. And Panda definitely is a really nice pair of hands to have a Bulldog in. But they just really... I don't want to say second verse same as the first, because last round I do love the hard to see commit, but they got to do something different. And for different to start off, take it out Salad is a great start.
Yeah, I don't know if the toxic screen was up or what, but it looks like where they died maybe got hit through that toxic screen, so a little bit unfortunate, but that opening pick doesn't seem to mean full control over towards A. We've seen it a couple of times where Mizzou have fallen all the way back, and there's some trades out towards C, and Mizzou in trouble. They don't have any map control. They're going to have to take space, and that's what Conk's looking to do. That frag works out, but it does confirm Mizzou now at a 3-on-2 and with a lockdown for the retake.
There's another.
Okay, this is really putting Demigods in a weird situation here. 2v3. Oh, good blind, but behind them does not know. Okay, Shy will go ahead and claim that. As for 3, Koki. TP out successfully. Yes. Okay. Yeah, he knows to give it up. Going to go ahead and save the rifle that he can. Good answer back by Mizzou.
They kind of had the cheats in that round. They had exactly what they needed in order to counteract what Demigods were putting together. Amir essentially had to win both of those fights and destroy the lockdown for them to win the round, which just isn't all that realistic if we're being really honest. It's up to 7 though. Demigods still, they have the lead confirmed into this next half. It's just a question of whether it's going to be 8-4 or 7-5. And Mizzou really did a good job last round of fighting back from a deficit. I mean, they got the opening pick, but they lost every engagement at C, and they were still able to win out.
Kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Oh wow, okay. That's one way to start a round. Demigods, you know, when they get a pick, they play a little bit more confidently. Let's hope it's not misguided. They're looking to secure at least one or two. Oh.
Flash helping out, giving Alex the advantage into that fight. It's the opposing KJ. And now Panda can use the Shrouded Steps to get back out to the site. Our covers go up, some space to work with, and not looking the right direction is Melvin. Trying to Shrouded Step away, but Heartbroken's on the side already, and Koki entirely caught by that Rolling Thunder. Allows Panda 3 kills and 5 rounds for Mizzou.
Man, I mean, he had been sitting on that Rolling Thunder for the longest time. I guess you might as well use it to be into the half. Very nice job, though. But here we go, the side switch. The side switch last game, when he put Demigods on defense, it didn't go so well. Now here we are in the same situation, except this time Demigods are the ones that are up. They're up by literally. Oh wait, hold on. I'm having deja vu because I swear, game number 1 of the side switch, it was also 5-7.
That it was, yeah. Same situation, though flipped, I guess. Mirror image, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Demigods the ones in the lead. But the Mizzou attack by no means poor on this map. See what they have to offer. Melvin, the Sheriff, right into position, takes a couple of shots, can't connect any of them, so we'll try it and fall away, but moves into a very committed angle. Sure, dash propped and ready, but trying to get out of here, that's a tough task. The paranoia catches Super Shy as they try to make their way forward. The spam of the body and the headshot into Heartbroken leaves just 2 alive, but no, Mizzou, they've brought it back. 2 frags from Krinkelstad, and suddenly it's up to Wick.
It's all up to Wick, who has been performing very admirably this game, but needs to come up huge here to put the finishing stamp on this round. All the work that Melvin had put in, literally dashing and dancing and darting around to potentially get this win. 3 HP is the dream for Wick here. Waiting so patiently, has to guess correctly. Oh my god! Actually gets it done. What in the world just happened? Demigods keeping that lead alive.
Oh man, what a difficult moment there. Melvin, as you mentioned, doing so much good work initially with the Sheriff in hand, and then it's the Sheriff that lets down the final Mizzou player, just trying to stay in there. Alex couldn't end up hitting the shots. Needed 1 bullet. That's all that was required on the 3 HP Wick, but it wasn't gonna happen. And with that, Demigods certainly are looking better and better throughout this Haven. Of course, Mizzou, there's still time for them to make this comeback, and right now, it looks like they fully invested into this thing. They have some Stingers, they have Marshals, and those things, well, not what they used to be, but still very solid.
Ooh, solid enough for Shy to take out the main man, Melvin. Trade 1v1. That was a spike holder, though. Will recover it immediately, but that's a signal not to go on to B.
Yeah, there's a pretty large number of defenders over there just hanging on to that control.
That Viper wall.
This is good patience from Mizzou, allowing for Demigods to split back up, right? Ask the questions, maybe get aggressive, look for information. All of those things not yet happening, but they have made a gamble. And it's over towards C for Demigods.
Oh my god.
Put 3, almost 4 there just now as the final player for Demigods walked back the other direction, but it's far too little too late. They won't be here before the spike goes down.
They literally use Demigods' tactic against them of rotating around the entire map, pulling them to the other site to get that plant down. But Demigods did a really good job of answering fast and moving all their players over there. It's a matter of how do they fight this. It is a 4v4. Guns, I would say, are an advantage for Demigods, but how you use them? Oh my god. The blind is so precise. Amir's aim is just as nice. Managing to take him out, but it's a 1v1. I don't think there's enough time. Too many threats.
did I sign up
Alex
for this
using
shit?
those nanoswarms to perfection.
Oh
Ends up
my
going for the
God.
swing, and is there time? It's awful close, and I don't think he's got it.
Oh my god, it'll be down to the last second. It will be 0.17 seconds. Amir saving it for the team, making it rain real quick. And that's Demigods with 9.
Quite literally last second, last couple of milliseconds actually in the defuse there. And Mizzou played that almost as good as you could have hoped for, really. It didn't make any major mistakes, just Demigods patient as ever. The paranoia procced in order to get them back onto the site initially, got them that opening pick in the retake, and from there they took advantage of the trades. This time Demigods should have a bit more of an advantage when it comes to their weaponry, though Mizzou still do have a couple of stingers out.
Yeah. Wick gonna get a good spot onto a few, and that's the call to rotate. Seaside seems to be in danger. Looks like where a lot of the push is going. Koki not gonna get touched through the smoke. Melvin though, claiming something on the other side. Oh man. So we know Mizzou has really good patience when it comes to one of these things, but will their patience be rewarded?
Spike down.
Be rewarded with 2 kills, but that was your spike carrier, guys. Streamer cannot get into this garage. Has to default to running around, potentially going through B, but no, Demigods all over this. Like some flies on some stank. Doing a great job.
Crinkles has maybe found some timing here, a little bit of a space in between the plates of armor. Will they check the spawn angle, though? That's the
30
question.
seconds
It's
left.
doubtful,
Last player
and
standing.
indeed, Amir takes that frag and walks away. Alex 1v3 this time and gets 1 or 2 opportunities, but cannot provide. 10-5, Demigods making their way out of that pistol round situation, and then even in a couple more clutch scenarios, 2 of the 3 rounds have been clutch scenarios that Demigods have come away with.
Yeah, and now Melvin, you know, hard committing to the op, spending basically all of his lunch money on that. Demigods.
It's an expensive lunch.
It's quite expensive, I would say. And looking to
I would cry, maybe.
If you spent like $4,000 on a lunch. I mean, look,
Yeah.
hey, been there, done that. It happens, you know. Gonna eat all
It
of
does?
Absolutely. Yeah, totally. It's making it work here, paying off dividends. First frag in the round. Looking to push Demigods to that oh so sweet 11. Man, this really is a mirror image of game number 1. Once we got to that, I mean, I say that, but it's been Demigods like since before the half.
I mean, they had a really good strategy to deal with what Mizzou tended to like to play against, and it's paid off for their offensive half with that, and now in the defense, they've done just as well. And it's not necessarily been in the same way. I feel like they made the right decisions, played the right composition, and made those things work in the first. Now it's been the clutch.
Spike down A.
Absolutely clutching it out. Kogi taking out the spike carrier. Drops down though. Almost bad. Yeah, good for 1, but not much more. Yeah, Demigods have just been playing on a different level as they will win this one. Pushing them that much closer to map point. Hey, look, I said we were going to get 3 maps with our first game. I said it. It's coming really close to being a reality unless Mizzou just suddenly goes Super Saiyan and just blitzes through Demigods these next numbers of rounds. But it does look like Demigods have this on lock.
Game isn't over till it's over, though, and Mizzou finally able to get something further out. I mean, they didn't have so much success in the last round. Maybe it'll be different into this round. They're pretty one-dimensional in their approach early in this 4 out towards A long. And there is the Killjoy utility set up for Demigods at this site, and they're just going to commit. Kong dashing in their own smoke. Salad, though, going to catch them as they walk through, and Salad's still here from the back of the site. Gets 2 frags. So Wick, time to activate as the guiding light comes through. No further frags from Mizzou as they fall in on tough times. Alex alone on the lurk.
Alex gonna try their best to do what they can. Ooh, great job denying the operator, but still has a mountain to climb. I don't know if he brought the right shoes for this. Also put the turret down, draw some fire, running up top, or walking, I should say. Being a little quiet, as quiet as he can, scurrying like a mouse in a restaurant. Watching the head peek though. Unfortunately, cannot win it out, but Demigods is looking so good on him.
Match point.
Yeah, I feel like they had all of the answers to what Mizzou wanted to do on their defense, and it was much to do with that composition, but it wasn't just, it was the way they played around it. Now, in the second half, it's been, yeah, the clutches, but also whenever Mizzou try to get onto the site, they just can't even get the spike planted, it seems. Yeah. Demigods are playing very aggressive towards that retake, where either A, they don't need the retake because they're just winning the fights on the site, or B, they're trying to get back into that site before the spike even goes down.
Absolutely, and it's so interesting looking at the scoreboard, looking at the stat lines, because we've been talking about Salad so much this game, being so clutch and being so pivotal for a lot of these Demigods round wins and whatnot. They're sitting near the bottom of the leaderboard, but it just shows the impact that player's had without, being a top fragger.
Impact kills over number of kills, that's for sure.
Oh no. Oh, you gotta have your gun out, baby. Amir gonna drop down. Make a good return. I don't know if this is gonna be a hard because it's towards A, but okay, I see a lot of bodies over there. Some spread out through BC, but it does look like A is sights and Salad. We're just talking them up, singing their praises. Takes out the spike holder once again. 2v4, 1v4. Demigods looking to send us to map number 3 and showing that they have a lot of fights still left in them. Let's see if they have to flush it out. It's gonna be the main man, Melvin. Just as he started this game, just as he finished it on top.
From the very beginning, I mean, it was clear Demigods had a plan, and they executed it to perfection up against Mizzou on the defensive side. Mizzou's defense just didn't have really any answers, it felt like. But then beyond that, we saw consistently where Demigods, they had an idea of what they were looking to do once they got onto their own defense. And, well, that idea was, number one, fight aggressively on the site. Don't play retake. A lot of teams are going to see playing that retake scenario. And number two, whenever you're looking to deny that plant, hopefully you can deny the plant long enough to get the rotations in, and they did that too.
Yeah, it was really nice to see. Like, we had touched on it a little bit in the agent select. We're like, okay, that's a lot of control. How are they going to make this work aggressively? I mean, the main key was just to draw them out. Like, deny information, deny vision, make them second guess. Like, they're literally having to guess where the dice is under the cup the entire match. And it worked swimmingly for Demigods. But that does mean we do get game 3. We get the decider, which we will be seeing after this short break. Get some snacks, get a drink, hit the bathroom, but be right back because we got another banger just lined up for you. Hey, welcome back, guys. Okay, that was a banger of a Haven. It was mostly Demigods. I don't know if that was a bait, a switch, maybe. I don't know, but they've looked amazing on that map. But let's hope they can continue that momentum going into our decider of split. Vincent, that was kind of crazy.
It was. I think that there's two aspects to this, right? Like I was saying at the beginning, it was clear that Demigods were expecting Mizzou to want to play Haven, and so they floated that, allowing for them to pick it. The second thing is the comp that they were running was very solid, up against Mizzou especially. The way that Mizzou likes to play that map is so info heavy towards a long position, and the fact that was so easily denied by those walls is perfect. Of course, moving into split, it's kind of a big question mark. We don't really know a lot. There was one map of split played for I think for Mizzou just like a month ago, but outside of that, we haven't seen either team play split in this tournament. And well, with Demigods, they don't have a split played on VLR in like 4 months. So yeah. I don't know how prepared they are for it. Presumably they've been practicing it a little bit, but we've not seen it on stream yet.
Right. Definitely had that same feeling. As going to be getting into this map here in a second. I want to say, okay, so yeah, we got, shout out to Adam with the stats real quick. So in the Demigods beat Blaine on Split and CVAL 15-13, so really close, really close. So I mean, they do have
that was also months ago. Just want to clarify. So it is the same team though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who knows?
You know,
it's been a minute.
Either way, tiny bit.
Yeah, the tough part about that is like how much do you put into that result from so long ago? I usually err on the side of if it's 3 months or late or more, like probably not super relevant anymore. But at least we know that they had a very good split prepared at one point. Mizzou, like I said, we saw him play it like a month ago, but that was in the I think that was in the CVH like off-season tournament. So it wasn't necessarily up against the best of opposition, I don't think.
I felt understandably so cautious towards the progress of how they've been moving on this map, but they will be starting off on attack. So I think all 3 games I want to say, yeah,
that's right. Yeah, all 3 games.
Okay. So there is a very high chance there. Okay, yeah. I saw the hover. I was like, there's a very high chance Melvin's going to pop on the Reyna. And he just immediately locks it down and says, we're doing it. So that definitely shows they're going to more than likely do double duelist. Yeah, the Ray is also picked for Demigods.
Select your agent.
Oh, so double duelist is just kind of the norm for Split, I suppose now. But,
Yeah, I think it is. At the same time, it's like whether you want to go for like Arena, which I think is pretty aggressive, but the way Melvin's been playing, it makes perfect sense with the play style, with the fact that he's been the player kind of jumping in and finding those early duels. Correct. And then trying to get out. It is super good, I think, to see Arena come out. I think that'll be perfect for them. The one thing that I am looking at and seeing, okay, what's this going to look like? Wick onto the Rays. And I want to see that Rays head-to-head. If the way that's going to go, I think that Wick's performance on the Rays probably going to be a big contender for who wins this. Whether Demigods win, probably going to see Wick performing well.
Okay. Off into the races. I think, let's see, the one question mark I do have, though, is going to be more so on the side of, like, Demigods. Once they transition over to defense, like, we know that their attack, we know these hard rotates, and with Melvin being initiator, entry, whatever have you want to call, I don't know, the composition just seems a little bit lacking on that, defense department, just because of how they want to play it like how they specifically do their play style.
Well, keep in mind they still have double controller here, so Demigods, they'll have that control that they need more than likely, and it's pretty much, it's not quite a mirror, but it might as well be. The difference only being a Jet versus Arena. So Mizzou in the same boat, regardless of how you slice that. Either way, we're going to see a bit of a mid-push coming through from Demigods in this opening round. Getting control, holding control of that mid-area, oftentimes the key for Split as a map in general. And so, setting the tone early, Demigods as Conk comes around the corner, catches Salad, that's the A player, and so now it's time to hit the go button for Demigods to head out towards B. They found one pick, but Panda still gets a frag back, and it's Alex still hanging out right underneath Heaven.
Oh my God.
They don't check it! They don't look! Oh, but Koki turns at the right time. It was just enough, but it's still 2 to be found for Mizzou.
Oh my goodness, just as quickly as we were praising them, they blunder a little bit, fumble and drop. Demigods with the spike plant off, but can they finish it off? Ooh, super shy, super sneaky. That's 1, goes for 2. No, actually fails in a 1v1, but Koki so low. Has to stall for as much as they can. We'll use the pulling on the star, check to the right, fakes left. No gun is out. Heartbroken just now switching over. So tense. Accidentally so flashes. It's a big old game of ring around the rosy. All he has to do is land 1 bullet, and he does. Has enough time to get the defuse, but man, That was a little scary there towards the end.
It was indeed, and if you look at the HP here for Heartbroken, it's so very low. It was 1 bullet required for them to put towards Koki because of the dink from Conk coming from behind. But the fact or excuse me, it was Ponder that was coming from behind. Sorry. But the fact that was a dink was the difference. I mean, I think that if that doesn't come through, Demigods probably come away with that. So a pistol round victory once again for Mizzou. And this time, I think we saw a force buy from Mizzou when they lost the pistol in the second half of Haven. Demigods electing just to hold strong. They'll go for an eco.
Okay. And hopefully that cavalcade of guns that Mizzou has bought works out for them. Demigods, yeah, opting for that save. Or rather, I got that back. My mistake. They transferred back the colors. It happens. Yes, hopefully it does pay off for them as once again, a lot of push towards B. Melvin sitting pretty with that Marshall. We know he can do so much damage with it.
Look at how close this raise is located with the judge in hand as well. This could be a huge round to farm up a bunch of frags for Crinkle's dad.
Oh no.
Cover comes in. They're going to get baited in by Panda. Spotted out, and here we go.
Oh, no!
Double kill. 1 shot, 2 frags. 3 for the Rays. That's a flawless victory for Mizzou as well.
Crinkle's dad spraying and praying like the Sunday mass that he should. Managing to drop so many bodies there. I was like, hey, I hope that judge buy pays off for them in this round. It absolutely did. But a really good job by Panda, though, to get that first frag, you know, push them out from that corridor to actually make them, you know, get onto the site and allow them to get cleaned up. But man, absolutely crazy stuff here. Already starting off Mizzou firmly in the lead, opting to stick with what they have.
So this mid control, as I mentioned, Demigods are going to want to take this possession here pretty much every early round if they can. And Ponder walking right around the corner, around this bit of utility. There's that Reyna. That's part of the reason I thought it could be so good. And Melvin will get the dismiss to walk away. And it's Super Shy just trying to fight things back, but there's no enemies to shoot at here.
Yeah, just working well. Okay, the call is hard rotate over to B, pulling out through mid. It will be met by the Viper sitting, holding presence on the area. But no, actually, wow, they fully disengaged from that area. They're trying to catch them out, trying to guess where they were. This is just like how in game number 2, Demigods were able to pull them away from sites and make them run around to try and guess what they're supposed to be. Shy is over there, though. He will take out Wick. So now there's a man behind them. He could potentially get pincered in and squeezed on, choked and pressured on this B side.
Trying to get back in here. Trying to clear some angles, trying to take that heads-up duel, but Koki gonna come away victorious. 2 players to deal with as Crinkle swings wide. It's Alex to fall, the final man standing, but only for a brief standstill there. Demigods immediately on the board as soon as they get that first gun round out. And it's that mid control that we were talking about. Mizzou trying to, once they lose 2 players, trying to stack towards a site or at least stack towards a position where they can maybe pull back a victory. But they choose wrong, and the B side open for business.
Yeah, absolutely wide open for business. And now you do see Mizzou upgrading some of their arsenal. Super Shy got the hands on the op. We saw what they did, what they could do with game number 1. Making that work very, very well. And okay, off the bat, Demigods gonna burn the Astral ultimate. Hard push onto A. Get it down as fast as they can. 1 for 1. Koki's actually gone. Good shots by Crinkle's dad. Rocking the rifle this time around. But the plant will go down a little bit later than originally wanted. But oh god. Gotta check those corners. Salad, what was that, my boy? Managing to push it on the 3 frags, and now the fight is still on. Somehow push it all the way down to a 2v3. Now it's a 2v2. That ultimate is ready. The last pack is shot in the air, but Wick is better for it. Salad hitting out with the 4K. Great round by the Demigods to push that forward.
Phenomenal A execute, right? That's the plan from the beginning, and it's in order to catch off Mizzou. We haven't actually seen Demigods really pressure much of A. They've kind of tapped at it. They put some presence there early, but they haven't actually gone towards the A site at all up until that point. And that's when they pull out that execute. As soon as they have the Cosmic Divide ready to go for Koki, they put it down and they find their success as well. That little play towards screens was perfect. Wick puts out the boom bot, and that's when they double swing Salad, the one to pick up all the kills. But it was a team effort nonetheless for Demigods as they find themselves into a tied score line. Quickly looking towards B, almost off the rip.
Yep, yeah, they're trying to do the pump fake. They're like, all right, we got you at A last time, we're going back to B. But this was called out, anticipated and called out by Mizzou. So, nothing aggressive had been made just yet, but Koki got dropped really, really low. I want to say by Panda, maybe hitting a body shot or two, or maybe hitting a body shot.
Try to abscond with a couple of frags, hopefully that's the plan.
Oh, wow.
Nice shot from Alex. That'll get you something. Little kill there with the blast pack. Don't see that very often anymore. And that's cut down. Demigods just 3. Overwhelming onto the site as Alex has upgraded. It's Crinkle's dad with the Guardian, and Koki could only find 1. This is an eco round. A round that Mizzou were more than likely to lose, but instead they come away successful, and it's all thanks to Alex. Multi-fragging on the entries, getting back onto the B site.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex is coming up huge, being absolutely menacing on the site there. And like when at the start of it, they hard shoved for that, but it was anticipated because they previously had gone for B multiple times in this match already. So very wise for them to have at least 1 to 2 people hard sticking over there in case, you know, they want to try and fake it out. So they stuck to their plan. It worked very well for them. They guessed correctly, and it rewarded them with another round win. Demigods now a little bit of a half and half buy. I'm gonna try and make it work. Oh, shot.
Impressive. They're trying to get that shot.
Jesus!
Goes for a second, loses his life. There's that opening engagement and the showstopper. Unable to get the frag, but Melvin will certainly do the damage. Now, the possibility for Mizzou just to walk away and save. That wouldn't be unreasonable, but maybe, just maybe they can find a way back in. No. They're gone. It's done. Mizzou out of this round.
Yeah, absolutely. They're packing their stuff up and taking their ball home. That was just, it's so wild. The aggressive hard push they made on B worked better on A. And it wasn't like Mizzou didn't have people in the area to, you know, bolster defensive or hold the line or whatever. They had people in the area. It's just that Demigods played that entry better. And I do love the fact that all 3 members are opting to save. They're not going to try and force it. I wouldn't want to try and fight into that either. Demigods have the Viper's Pit available if they wanted to use it. Also, the Reyna Ultimate is there. So very good call by Mizzou just to say, all right, that's fine. We have some wiggle room. We'll go ahead and give you 1.
Let's keep it a buck. Ponder has to hit that op shot. That's the that is the shot that needed to be hit. And yeah, you can add on to that and say, I don't know who it was on the site there with him, but whoever was on the site, yeah, they missed 2, but it was about that initial shot not being able to be hit, and even the fallback shot missing the mark. And that's thanks to Demigods putting together a pretty good amount of utility into that position. The guiding light forcing them off initially, and then from there, it was just being entirely caught off guard. I don't think at that point Ponder had any chance of resetting his aim and resetting the position.
Absolutely can see that being the case. And now a little bit slower on the out of the gate from Demigods right now. Mid, everybody. I do love how in these past 3 rounds they have hit a different part of the map each and every time. It has not been exactly the same. They've gone B, all 5 very hard. They've gone A, all 5 very hard. Now they're pushing through mid and splitting out. Look at, hold on. How did the Viper from Demigods get all the way back over there? Wait a minute.
That's a good question. That's over at A towards main, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. We'll see.
Slithery snake.
We're going to walk away. And as we talked about, mid control, a precursor to any sort of sight hit late into the round on this map. It'll be Panda getting out of there. And the late lurk up mid, dispatch, so Wick down. And take a couple of steps back and forth.
Panda!
Dodge
No!
Panda! And the frag continues with Ponder having the blades activated and taking out one more. The blade storm continues as it's going to give them just 2, but the round essentially won off the back of it. Heartbroken, the final frag. It's a Mizzou round by a large margin.
Okay, that movement from Panda was so crazy. Like, spotting the dog from Amir, teleporting behind right as the dog was turning to potentially give some info, then gets a frag after it. That was nice. That was cool speed right there. I loved that. But yeah, Demigods tried to something a little different. Poking up through mid and splitting off. Hopefully, you know, maybe they're looking for a catch, getting some picks off before hard committing to A or B. Did not work out the case, and Mizzou clamped down, not let go.
Well, we're gonna see the same execute.
Yeah, they're going hard back to A this time, but Crinkle's dad, they're learning and adapting from their mistakes as they will take down 2, but lose 3 somehow. Wick going crazy. Oh my goodness, Koki, good for another. It's all up to Shy.
Crinkle's dad far overcommitting to that fight. No need to take that third engagement. Fortunately, trying to make their way back. Ponder working his way through. This operator could do the damage. There's the possibility to win this round. The spike just been gathered.
Oh,
and they're going to get the spike down momentarily, but Super Shy has gone from the operator over to the Vandal. There's only 12 bullets in the chamber and not looking towards Wick. Bedded in to the close range corner. It's exactly what was needed. And Mizzou, like you said, they did adjust. But unfortunately, they didn't find any kills on the site.
Yeah.
Nobody on A got a frag. Any 1v1, or 1-for-1 rather, would have done enough.
I want to see what Wick did to get those 2 back-to-back kills so fast. Because what in the world? Like, Mizzou had Demigods red, and then 2 seconds later, they're down on the side. And you're like, all right, that's fine, I suppose. Yeah, like, Demigods just turning up the heat. Unfortunately, not hot enough because Crinkle's dad runs through the fire and flames and gets a frag onto Wick. Now the call's made. Scramble back to B.
Got him.
But Shy is waiting.
And what a perfect timing to pull that out, of course. Mid-control now falling. It's Melvin. Takes the opener. That's going to be very nice as the blind catches both of those players on the site. Demigods, again, losing early, but still not out of rounds. It's going to be up to 2 players here. Crinkle's dad found the opening with the showstopper. Now no Salad. Still on this plant position. The ultimate comes out, and Salad fights his way through. Information gained, and with that, the toxic screen going to fall. It doesn't matter. Melvin, again, 3 kills, and it's the opener in mid, the frag onto the site, and then the closer for Melvin.
Yep. And surprisingly, not already the top fragger for his team this game around. That has not been the name of the story, as all of the team has been really, really good at getting these kills and getting these perfect executions. But Melvin, you know, if he sniffs you out, there's about to be a play to be made, and doing a really good job in that round to be extra security for them to grab it. Are still somehow the 5-4 score line. Absolutely insane.
Back and forth all the way. And this time, Wick making the way in. Crinkle's dad from the back of the site around, but can't get the nade out in time. 3-on-3 for Demigods as they get the spike down, planted. And this is going to be a tough retake. Crossfire set, great Trailblazer, giving information over, and Ponder's got the frag from the flank. So that just leaves 1 man on the site itself, and that's Amir, who's now all alone. 1v3, not to be.
Okay, wonderful answer back by Mizzou, pushing that aggression. I mean, but that was, yeah, like I said, information gathering. Heartbroken really coming up big in this round. Very, very important flashes. Dog, just really good secure. And like these past 2 rounds have been over so fast. And you could feel the pace ramping up. You could feel how the closeness of this matchup getting even closer. We talked about it in the rankings. It's showing very evidently that both of these 2 teams are night and day of each other. Just depends on who is good on the day. Right now, it's all tied up, so can't really say.
Granted, you gotta keep in mind, this is attack side on split.
Yeah.
Demigods currently doing a lot of good work. Their executes have been superb. That's where they have absolutely been making the difference. And Demigods back towards A. They've been hitting this non-stop these last couple of rounds. It's going to be a continued solid hold for Mizzou on the site. They get 3 frags out of it, and this Empress for Melvin, well, it's going to have to do a whole lot to bring this back.
Oh my goodness. He had teammates and then he didn't, because they're just gone now. He has to win every single trade from here on out. Not quite the case. Empress is about to run out too. Has not been able to get a kill afterwards, and yeah, will not be able to make the hero 1v4 this time around.
Last round in the half.
Last round? Yeah, I was saying last round. 4, switching sides again. Demigods have shown their attack is very nice. They need to push a little bit more, maybe tie it up again before heading into the fence.
I mean, I'd call this, like, if it ends 7-5, I'd call this fine for Demigods.
Right.
6-6, I mean, you're already doing very well, I think, realistically. Great impact, though, I want to say, from Crinkle's dad, just stepping up big time in these last few rounds, holding down that A site. Massive, massive part of the victories. Mizzou's comeback, it's been really very much up to that race.
Oh, wow, okay. Streamer opting to throw the Viper ulti down into mid here. Will lead to Melvin actually falling. We've been to talk about the economy and the state of the guns between the two teams going into this round, and Demigods definitely had a more scuffed buy than Mizzou did, coming in with full rifles. Pit and mid dissuades them from find any boss map situations. A site is the name for which they want to play this round out. They beat Mizzou there, though. It's a matter of what's going to get done. Tweeting on last pack above, and the ultimate is great. Crinkle's dad will grab something before falling immediately, putting in a 2v2. Can they win it out, though? Panda fighting up in heaven, drops down. Oh, sees Amir on the sides will be the better one. No way! Wick, you're serious right now. Has to win out the 1v1, but will not get it done. Oh my god. All the chaos, all the bodies dropping at the end of the day. Mizzou going up at the half.
Yeah, finally getting that lead at least solidified, and, well, now it's up to Mizzou to put together about as good of an attack side as Demigods did. The thing is that Demigods, their attack side looked so very strong consistently. Honestly, if we didn't see such a heroic performance from that Raze on the A site, I think we'd be looking at a much more dominant Demigods half, actually. That Raze play was so superb. 18 frags in the first half is a bit absurd.
Yeah, that's a kind of a busted stat line, not gonna lie. Let's see how they carry it over. Sidebar switch. Once again, for the final time in the series, Demigods ending the match on defense. I love the composition from them. It allows them to have a lot of things to play with. Starting off really well. Melvin with 1, Amir with 2. But oh my god, 3 get traded over so instantly. Panda with the double. That Demigods on the back foot. Man, I gotta stop caster cursing these teams, I guess, because I'm saying they're doing good and immediately they're just falling.
Just some good plays there from Mizzou, able to overwhelm with numbers onto the site, and now it's just a matter of either not peeking or double swinging, and that's the latter, it would seem, for Mizzou. And picking up 3 frags in the pistol round is a nice victory as well. But Demigods, listen, they lost the pistol last half. They're not going to be in too much trouble for losing the pistol this one, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah. You have a good point there. Okay, going into this next round here. Ooh, the double Guardians being bought out by Mizzou. Looking to keep the ball rolling that they started with that last pistol round. Very much poised to do so.
Demigods not really investing too much of anything. I think they had a shorty, and that's about it. So otherwise, just default weapons, the classic in hand. Some aggression being had over here at B main, but nothing spotted out, and so they'll wait for the time being. Demigods mid control being figured for Mizzou in the meantime. Nobody there to hinder that progress.
So patiently playing. We know Mizzou likes to play patiently, but now Demigods taking a page out of their book. Waiting. Somebody waiting to make the first move. Looks like B does seem to be the major focus. Very good sight lines anchored on the site, but the guns around in the end. Shive was the first to fall. Oki actually gets Streamer, who was trying to route all the way around. Amir makes something happen before falling. Still even bodies-wise.
Koki gets an upgrade. This is massive. Obviously doesn't have a lot left otherwise, but Koki making the moves, making the first engagements. Wick gone down, heartbroken. Timing is perfect, swinging around the pillar, and, well, this is the expected outcome, but the way we got here, a little concerning for Mizzou. Maybe losing a little bit more than I would have anticipated. The dart cover goes out, and, well, Heartbroken's got like 1 HP, so maybe Melvin could do something.
It's potential, yeah. Listen to the sound cues, but runs right into the waiting arms of Heartbroken, who ends it with a 4K. Mizzou, yeah, they kind of, like, that harkens back all the way to the first game. Just really slow, methodical play, drawing them out, waiting for Demigods to mess up, making them, make these hard decisions in really short amounts of time. And it just worked out well for them. And now Mizzou is up 9 to Demigods 5.
This is the round where Mizzou could turn this from, a solid first half that could be equalized almost immediately for Demigods into a string of rounds, a string of performances that could put them into very close to victory. Paranoia goes out onto the site, and Koki can't deal with the initial aggression, but Wick certainly can. There'll be Koki to go down. Wick still alive and up top, but the rotation's coming quick and fast for Demigods. It's 3-on-3. The site overwhelmed for Mizzou, but not planted just yet.
Yeah. Okay. Plant does go out. Charge. Going in. Melvin, spray and pray, works, gets out over shield, has to dash around, but unfortunately, gun's not up in time. Wow. Mizzou first to double digits is after the Demigods have done so well getting to this point.
Exactly. And it's their bonus. That's the worst part for Demigods is that they just, it wasn't a crazy bonus. There was like 2 Guardians and then I think just 1 SMG, if any, there for Mizzou. So they had good weaponry, but it's just the consistency with which Mizzou finding those rounds, now 3 in a row. And, you're in the game of Valorant. You win 3 in a row after that 7-5 half. You're double digits. You need just 3 more to make the victory happen. And that's exactly what Mizzou are currently on pace for, of course. There's a lot more to do. Number 1 issue for this round is I think I saw a judge for Wick.
I believe he's doing his judge shenanigans again.
Big fan.
Big fan of the judge shenanigans.
Especially on the raid. On this map?
Oh, yeah. Jetpack blasting in. Shot you to the face. Mwah, work of art. Okay. Melvin, however, do some Guardian shenanigans and take out Panda from a decent range away. Nobody
over the rotation.
Yeah.
Demigods bringing a 3rd player over.
They have to. They literally have to. And Wick trying to run away and survive, unfortunately, will not be the case. There's only Amir on the site with just Sheriff. Oh my god, as Crinkle's dad goes hunting, taking down 3, make it 4. Mizzou, slowly but surely, they came back, put it in their favor, looking to close this one out as timeout being called by Demigods here towards the end.
First, something to note, I think that this is correct. I don't think the Demigods have called a timeout since they did on Ascent.
Yeah.
I don't think they've called any, and now they do. This is where I think they're starting to feel like they've lost some control of this map and of this series, where they've now got to make some adjustments where, before this point, they just were waiting for the gun round and then they'd put the plan together and the plan would hopefully work. Now, the plan didn't work, so what do we do next? Yeah,
and I believe, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but Melvin has not just been, MVP smurfing this game like we expected him to, right? We saw him lock in the Reyna at the beginning of this game. We're like, oh wow, he really wants to try and hard carry through this game, and that's not been the case here. Demigods really need something. I really hope this little cooldown minute they had, reset their heads and got them talking to them, because Mizzou, they're looking to punch this through. Like, they're 2 rounds away from ending the series.
And in defense of Melvin a little bit, right? He has been really good at finding the positioning. Like, in the role that they're playing, the Reign has been fine. The issue is it's just not been quite where it was in the previous couple of maps. And yeah, that's probably a bit of an unreasonable expectation, but when you have Kriegel on the other side doing what you've been doing and more in the previous maps, it's a problem.
Yep. It's just that, you know, when you're good, you expect to be perfect, and when perfect isn't paying off, but what are you doing? So now, once again, we go for the slow play. Melvin, okay? Heard us talking to my companion. Goes ahead and gets that first frag in.
It has been at some cost, though. Mid-control gathered for Mizzou. They have full control of that area of the map, and now they can make the move through Mail if they want to, and that's going to be what's happening. 3 up that way. It's going to be the Dark Element put out into position. Wig falls. Velvet trying to fight their way through, but there's a lot of utility in between him and his opposition. It'll finally be the site gathered spike to go down shortly. And Ponder might be the critical piece to win this.
Yeah. Ooh. Body sniff something out. The muzzle flash will give them all the info they need. Guts 1 does not get 2, but does a considerable amount of damage, helping out. Okay, Melvin is on the site. A lot of bodies there, a lot of warm bodies looking available. Has to go to the corner. Yo, Amir so clutch on the side, but not clutch enough, as that's gonna put Mizzou on series point. Oh my God, just when we thought Demigods were gonna be able to snatch that round away, the perfect aiming from Mizzou comes in absolutely clutch.
I mean, I talked about the fact that the question was going to be, okay, who finds the better engagements on this double duelist, right?
Yeah.
And right now, it's this Raze that has been so incredibly consistent. And that's what saved Mizzou in the first half, was the Raze over at the A site constantly getting multi-frags. 2, 3 kills, whatever it was, Kriegelstad was doing it. And that's another clutch round that is all about that Raze. Finding 2 kills where really only 1 would have been reasonable.
Right. Absolutely. It's been so good to see how this race has been played. You know, judge or no judge, there's still a wonderful race in my heart. Okay, what is the play here for Demigods? Last defense, possibly. You have to win every single round from here on out if they want a chance. Making this reverse sweep a reality. This is hard defense line in mid, though. Like, what a call.
Well, they know that the issues that they've been dealing with, I mean, Mizzou's consistent control of this mid area in some of these rounds has been a problem for Demigods. Especially, you think about Ponder in the last round. Getting that lurk from Mail is part of what made that retake so difficult. So trying to hang on to this mid area is not at all unreasonable for Demigods, but they haven't been able to hold full control, but they do have Mail room. And that means that they could potentially start to rotate somebody around, but they haven't done so yet, which means there's 2 on A against what is now 5 Mizzou gamers coming their way.
Okay, read was not good enough. It's actually going to go in to use the ultimate Crinkle's dad. Not going to find anybody for that. We'll get tagged a little bit. But that's just a free plant. Muscled their way onto the site. Now it is all up to Demigods to have the perfect retake. No ultimates available for them to use. The knives are ready for Mizzou. What is the answer here? Salad in a very bad way. Reed actually opts to go out, looking down. Does not get the frag on to Shy, who has 30 HP left. On site, though, Wick with the judge in hand, saying, yo, Krink, I got you. Let's do this. Throws the rocket in, but now it's all up to Amir. In the eyes of 3, cannot make it happen. And that is Mizzou Esports going up 13-5, 2-1. Vincent. Man.
That they did. No disappointment for me this time out, but disappointment for the Demigods as we say goodbye to them. It is unfortunately a single elimination type of thing here where, listen, you go in, you hope you can find these victories in the best of 3s, but they could not come away with it. Back-to-back 13-5s, though. Yeah. 1 for Demigods and then 1 for Mizzou at the end of the day, but the 2-1 win, as you mentioned. I do have to say, though, the way that we saw that Raze play just elevate over the course of all of Split was incredible. And I think that, it's a team game all the way. But if there's one player to kind of point out, it's got to be that Raze at the end of the day there for Mizzou to, I think, probably elevate them just enough to make this a dominant victory at the end.
I mean, yeah, the numbers they were putting up was absolutely insane. Ending with a 401 average combat score. Whew, that's literally like higher, significantly higher than everyone else on the server. Just literally going insane. Whether it be the initiations, like jumping in, double blast back. I think they got like 3 blast back kills that were just absolutely nonsensical. I'll have to go back and watch the VOD because like when they're entering on the A site or whatever, just threw it to the side and someone happened to be in that close quarters cubby over there. I'm like, how do you even... That was just a blind guess, but still providing so much agency and so much presence every single time Mizzou went in was just so wonderful to see. And just absolutely insane gameplay.
That it was. I had a good time. I think that overall, though, Mizzou looking the better team when it came to those 2 maps. I mean, Haven, it felt like Demigods, they were just ultra prepared for the Haven pick. They were ultra prepared for the way that Mizzou were interested in playing that map. So Haven was just a different beast. But on both Ascent and on Split,